Hi, my name is Tommy Jordan, and I'm your Palm Springs area realtor. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to talk about the difference between Palm Springs, California and Rancho Mirage, California. If you've ever wondered what the differences are between those two cities, well, then you're going to have to watch this video. Let's roll. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button and press the bell to be notified when I post about the Palm Springs area on a weekly basis. Palm Springs and Rancho Mirage both feel like part-time cities. Now, what this means is that a lot of the people who own homes in Palm Springs and Rancho Mirage live there seasonally. Some people call them snowbirds. You know, they come during the cooler winter months, and cooler meaning 70 degrees, 80 degrees, and just perfect and sunny outside when it's snowing elsewhere. And then in the summer months, when it starts to get a little warmer, you know, they leave and head back to their primary location. Now, Palm Springs and Rancho Mirage are starting to get a lot more busier during the summer. Residents from Southern California, cities like LA, San Diego, Orange County, they want to get out of these cities and they come to Palm Springs even when it's 108, 110 degrees in the summertime. So it's feeling less and less part-time, but both the cities are sort of tourist destinations. And I mean Rancho Mirage in its own right. Rancho Mirage has been called the playground of the presidents. Past presidents have lived here, like Gerald Ford, Richard Nixon, Barack Obama, and all of them have had homes here. And Rancho Mirage is known for its, country club kind of golf course lifestyle. And Palm Springs, is known for just laying by the pool, hanging out in the sun, and taking a walk on Palm Canyon Drive, looking at some shops. Rancho Mirage and Palm Springs are similar in that the fact that a lot of people who live here don't live here year-round, but we do have a lot of retirees that live here, and now more so than ever. I mean, just in the last few months, it's amazing how many people have helped move here that have moved from places like Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and they're moving to live in Palm Springs and Rancho Mirage because of COVID and being able to work remote and just work from home. They're selling their big expensive homes. Some of them are not even that big, but just really expensive, and they're coming here and just getting a way better lifestyle than you would get in those cities, and ultimately just a lot nicer, newer, bigger home, so they could pocket some of that money with the sale and still get a big home. So it's really a win-win. So we're seeing more people starting to live here full-time, and especially with the current situation going on, people can work remote. So things are starting to change from Palm Springs and Rancho Mirage being that like seasonal city. It's starting to open up and be year-round. So it's pretty awesome. Both cities are just developing like crazy. The next major difference is how quiet Rancho Mirage can feel compared to Palm Springs. I mean, Palm Springs is known for its fun party scene and all the pool parties they have, and all the shops and restaurants are very hip and trendy. It has sort of a younger vibe than comparison to Rancho Mirage, which feels a little more suburban. It's a little quieter. Like I said, there's a lot of country clubs in Rancho Mirage with these golf courses and just overall like a slower pace of living. People come to Rancho Mirage because they don't want to be seen and they sort of want that privacy and just let their hair down, versus Palm Springs, it's just sort of where all the action is at. The nice thing about actually being in Rancho Mirage is you have access to all the great shopping and dining in Palm Springs, but also you're right next door to Palm Desert, which has the Westfield Mall, the largest indoor shopping mall in the desert, and El Paseo, which has been called, I guess, the Rodeo Drive of the desert. You have stores like Tiffany, Anthropology, great Italian restaurants like Il Corso, Mama Gina's, so local mom and pop kind of restaurants too, and chain ones like CPK. So, living in Rancho Mirage, you have Palm Desert if you want to go to Palm Desert and enjoy all the stuff there, and then you could go to Palm Springs. Depending on where you live in Rancho Mirage, it could be a 20-minute, maybe a 15-minute drive to get to Palm Springs or Palm Desert. So you can enjoy both places. But I would say overall, people are looking to live in Rancho Mirage. It's definitely just more of a quiet pace than you'd get in Palm Springs. I forgot to mention Rancho Mirage also has the river, which has a movie theater and a few restaurants as well. So can't forget the local little Rancho Mirage restaurants and, coffee shop like coffee. The next major difference is going to be gated versus non-gated communities. So if you look at Palm Springs, overall, not a lot of the communities are gated, but if you look at Rancho Mirage, on the other hand, it's a lot of private gated country clubs. Now, these country clubs have high-end fitness centers, spas, restaurants inside the clubhouses. A lot of the homes are sitting on these world-class golf courses. So Rancho Mirage has, communities like the Morningside, the Springs, Tamarisk Country Club. So these communities have very high HOA fees. I mean, some of them are, $1,000, $1,200, $1,400 a month. And remember, that's only the HOA fee. You also have to pay usually for a social membership to sometimes enjoy like the tennis courts and the facilities of the clubhouse, and then have a golf membership as well, which is another monthly fee. So, the country club lifestyle is exclusive because not many people can afford it. Now, keep in mind, there are a lot of other great communities in the desert overall, which you can enjoy the country club lifestyle for a lower cost. But I'm talking these communities in particular in Rancho Mirage, it's like, a 5-star resort. So people who are coming to Rancho Mirage sort of want all the amenities, at their disposal. Where Palm Springs, they have a lot of, amazing neighborhoods like Old Las Palmas, the Movie Colony, and just so many others. But the homes aren't in a gated kind of compound community. People are walking their dogs, and, you have your next door neighbor, and you don't have to really deal with the whole HOA fees every month. But you do have some land leases in Palm Springs, which, some of this land's owned by Indian tribes, and you have to pay a monthly lease. But still, that monthly lease can maybe be $200, $300, $400, which is a lot cheaper than, $1,000 to live in some of these communities. So it's really preference, it's lifestyle. Some people want all the amenities, so they want to be in Rancho Mirage in a country club community. Other people would rather just, have a nice, cool, mid-century modern home you'd find in Palm Springs without all the amenities, because they just have their backyard, their pool, barbecue. They don't need anything else. So it's really up to you. But keep in mind as well, Rancho Mirage actually has non-gated areas such as the Cove, which is right by the river, where you can live in Rancho Mirage and some cool mid-century homes they have up there without dealing with HOA fees. So I'm just saying, sort of broad overall, Rancho Mirage is more of that country club lifestyle than Palm Springs. And Rancho Mirage definitely has a lot more gated communities than Palm Springs. All right, next up is affordability. Let's take a look at the California Desert Housing Report, which is put on actually by the local Desert Association of Realtors. You can see here that the median price for a single family detached home is $870,000 in Palm Springs. Now in Rancho Mirage, it's $767,000. So really it's about a $100,000 difference between the two cities median for single family detached homes. If you look at Rancho Mirage and you take a look at Palm Springs, there is that $100,000 difference. So Palm Springs has, $200,000 condos, but, Rancho Mirage does as well. And then they have $1 million homes in each city. So what you'll find is in Rancho Mirage for a single family detached home, Rancho Mirage is just a bigger city, so you could find, a pretty nice home for $700,000. Where in Palm Springs, it's a lot smaller of a city, and there's just so much demand for a lot of the homes, the mid-century homes, for $700,000. It's just not going to be as nice and big as a home as you would get in Rancho Mirage. But for some people, they want that mid-century home. They want, a home designed by, Donald Wexler, famous architects out here. So this is kind of a preference thing, but I mean, both the cities are pretty comparable on affordability, but you're just going to get a little more of a house in Rancho Mirage compared to Palm Springs. The next major difference is walkability. Now, Palm Springs is going to be way more walkable than Rancho Mirage. I mean, let's be real, in Rancho Mirage, they're not walking, they're riding around in their golf carts. So Rancho Mirage, like I mentioned, is a lot bigger of a city than Palm Springs, so you're going to have to take a car everywhere. Versus Palm Springs, you have a lot of amazing communities and neighborhoods all around Palm Canyon Drive where all the shops and restaurants are, and you could take a bicycle, you could walk, you could run. hike, whatever, you know, whatever you need to do to get there, you could get there. But it's just a lot closer than compared to Rancho Mirage. So if you're looking for more of a walkable city, you're gonna be going towards more of a Palm Springs than Rancho Mirage, because in Rancho Mirage you just really won't find that unless you live in some places, like I mentioned the Cove earlier, but it's just such a big city that you're gonna need a car or a golf cart. So these are some of the major differences overall. I mean, if we spoke about demographics, for example, demographics, the kind of people living in Palm Springs are gonna be very similar to the kind of people in Rancho Mirage, people from all walks of life. Obviously, Palm Springs has a little stronger of an LGBT community, but there are a lot of people moving from Palm Springs to Cathedral City or Rancho Mirage because it's a little more affordable. So, you know, in the desert, you get everybody, you know, from all over the world. I mean, who doesn't love sunshine? That's why you're probably watching this video. You want to escape wherever you're at. And I help people all the time. So if you're interested in making your move out here, call me. My contact information's below. You know, I would love to help you. Make sure to subscribe if you're interested, you know, learning about the Palm Springs area on a weekly basis. I just wanted to make a good video where you could just, you know, see the differences really quickly and, you know, help you make a better decision on where you want to live. My name's Tommy. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you in the next video. Like and subscribe.